What is up, guys? It is Too Cruel here, and today I'm gonna be showing you how I made this Cumbia banger in FL Studio. So if you like the video, like, share, comment, subscribe. If you haven't had a chance to download my sample pack with a bunch of trap stuff in it, MIDI melodies and things like that, the link is in the description below to join my email list. Without further ado, let's stop talking and let's get into it, guys.
Hey guys, we're in my favorite software right now, and we're going to be breaking down this Cumbia track. Now, this is a Cumbiaton track, which is a niche genre out of Mexico, which combines reggaeton and cumbia. Now, this is my style. It's not exactly how maybe some of the producers would do it in Mexico. Let's first break down the most important part of cumbia, the rhythm. So the rhythm section to this is actually the splice sample that I found, but usually you're gonna have a few major elements in cumbia. You're gonna have a guiro playing usually the sound, and then you're gonna have a conga going the on the offbeats, and then probably some other different percussion depending on what you have. Now let's listen to the sample that I used. See, and you can hear all those things that I was talking about. So this is going to be your meat and bones. Whether you want to record this yourself, find a loop online. I just use a loop because I don't have a lot of these percussion elements with me. So whatever you do, find a good rhythm. So now that we have this rhythm, let's break down the other part of the rhythm, which is the reggaeton part. So the reggaeton part is just basically the simple reggaeton beat. You guys probably already know it. Every kick drum on every beat, on every one beat, 1, 2, 3, 4. The snare, doing the usual reggaeton stuff, and then a lot of different kick samples. This one on every 1, 3 to contrast the other ones. And then this specific snare pattern gives it kind of like a climbing, kind of like moving forward. It's a little bit different than the normal reggaeton pattern, but it gives it that sound that I was looking for in this track. So another thing that we want to talk about in reggaeton, and especially fusing these two genres together, is really heavily focusing on the triplets. The triplets and the triplet fills are a very big part of reggaeton music, and you definitely want to incorporate that when you're making a cumbia fused with reggaeton track. So one of the things that you can do is you can take your little magnet or your little snap and change it to 1/3 step, and then you'll be able to draw in a lot of these specific drum, kick patterns, snare patterns in the thirds, in third notes, so you can get that reggaeton sound in your fills and whatever you want. So I have this specific fill, which you already heard, and then I have this other one over here. Let me see if I can find it. That slower one. Hey, listen to this one. This is just normal thirds. The other one was 6 triplets and 1 beat, and this is just 3 notes and 1 beat. So you see the difference between those. So now let's talk about the groove or the bass line. So this specific song is in C sharp minor. This is the basic chord that we're working off of in the whole entire track. It's very simple. So once you have figured out your whole entire chord and thing that you want to, basically your flavoring you want to use in the track, you will want to create a bass line. Now the bass line in Cumbia is very distinctive. There's kind of 2 different ones, but I feel like this is the main one that I hear the most. It's always a 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 3, 1, 2, and 2, and 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and that's like the most common rhythm you're gonna hear. And then always your notes are gonna be climbing up and then back down to the main root note. So in this case, since we're in C sharp minor, the pattern is this: C sharp, the F sharp, and the G sharp. Now let's listen to what the pattern sounds like. And 1, 2, and 1, 1, 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 1, 2, and 3, 4. And you can mess with this depending on how complex your cumbia track is. You know, maybe if you're doing different chords, you can go down lower, pick a different root note, and then work off there. You know, picking notes in the C sharp minor scale until it sounds good to your ears. So yeah, that's basically the bass. Now the whole identity, I feel like, of the track is, a lot of it is your melody and your lead. Because if we just have the 2 elements that we listed out before, listed out right now. So as before I said, we have the C sharp minor chord. And we're using this plugin right here, Korg Wave Station, and we're using the Rocktime Piano preset. Now, Cumbia has a lot of old school vintage sounds in it, especially with these old school underground, with this Cumbia tone sound that's kind of more undergroundish. We're going to be really tapping into like that old sound that almost feels like we dug up something from, you know, the early 2000s or the 90s or 80s or something like that. So Korg Wave Station is a very good plugin for this. It gives you a lot of vintage tones, a lot of vintage presets that you can use in songs like this. It's very good for plugin B too, since plugin B uses a lot of that vintage stuff as well. So if you're making plugin B beats, this will do you good on that too. So let's listen to the chords on this. Basic C sharp minor chord, but what the main thing that you need to know is these are all on the ands. 1 and 2, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and all on the ands. The same beat as the conga drum that you heard in the tumba drum in the main loop. So here, listen to it. Hear how it's all in the ands. Very important detail you don't want to miss. Now let's look at the lead. Now this lead is something that I actually played on my piano, and then I went in here and adjusted the levels and then quantized it and then humanized it, and then to get this result. And you can see this is a very simple pattern. It's basically just all the notes in the main chord of the song, just play it in a different sequence and giving it more rhythmic feel. Now, say for instance, maybe you drew this in and you wanted to kind of give it that less robotic sound. You can go in here, go randomize. This would basically change your levels, your velocity on each of the notes. And then what you can do is on the same exact little wrench, you can go humanize. Now what this does is it will take some of your notes and push them off the grid ever so slightly and mess with them a little bit, kind of to give you that, oh, this was actually played by a person instead of, quantized to a grid of the computer. So here, see how it doesn't sound perfectly on time in that specific, like this note comes a little bit before, this one's a little dragged back, and just kind of humanizes it. That's a very important thing, especially when you're making cumbia music, the feel and the groove, like the real human feel. So we have this secondary lead pattern, which is basically the same exact notes, but just in a different sequence. And you hear like we're going up a little bit higher here and going down lower. Did the same thing. I actually played this on the piano, quantized it, and then humanized it, and then basically messed with the velocity and everything later to kind of give it that more less robotic computerized sound. So now we have that. That's pretty much the whole main element. Another thing I did forget to mention is this other drum pattern, which this is basically just used as a build up to other parts of the song. And it's using this percussion, labios. Labios is how you say lips in Spanish. This is something that I found on Splice, down pitched it a little bit, and it's on every beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, dun dun, 1, 2, 3, 4. Very simple. So now they basically talked about all the basic elements of this whole entire track. Let's talk about the fills before I forget. So the fills of this whole entire track are these ones. Here, I'll show you. We have this one. This is from Splice. It has a very unique texture and very unique sound, which adds a lot of stuff to the track when you're transitioning between specific scenarios. So we have this, which is a timbal fill, which is the timbales. The timbales are a specific type of drum that's very commonly used in cumbia music, which has kind of like that, you can hear it kind of has like that island sound, kind of like that reggae sound. This is very important and something that you probably want to include in a lot of your tracks, especially on fills. So now that we have the fills, let's just talk about the whole entire layout of the song. We have a lot of sirens, for the intros when it's breaking down, lasers. This is probably something that I found from one of from the Starboy Rob kit. Get creative, man. Put some stuff in there that, from other kits that you might have already. Cool sounds. We got this police siren. And a lot of other different stuff, like this radio conversation. In español. And I mean, just get cool with it, man. With that said, let's just listen to the whole thing from start to finish, and then yeah. Okay guys, so that is the whole entire track from start to finish. Pretty dope, right? Like, share, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys in the next one. See y'all later.